Thanks, Matron. I'll call you back. Well, I just hope Mrs. Morris comes good.
Doesn't look too difficult to handle. Doesn't look much different from an ordinary typewriter.
You'll give it a go, then?
Is this what's going to make me into a model prisoner?
No. I was going to make you into a model prisoner. This is going to help produce literature for the blind.
What about my request?
Learn to operate the Braille typewriter and you'll get your time and space. But I'd like to see this in operation 5 days a week.
What did Mrs. Davidson say, though? I mean, what about my duties in the laundry?
There's plenty of people who can do your job in the laundry, Bee. Mrs. Davidson will recognise that this is far more important work.
It'd be nice to do something useful for a change and something that's going to help others.
Think of all the books you'll read.
Yeah.
Okay, well, shall we go and see Mrs. Davidson?
Yeah, okay.
It's been a long time since I used this thing.
Wentworth Detention Centre. Yes, she's right here. It's for you, Mrs. Morris.
Mrs. Morris speaking. Yes, Chrissy. Is anything wrong?
No, Mrs. Morris.
Have you seen Elizabeth?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we went to see Elizabeth this morning. Oh, yeah, she's really good. It's just that they won't let us take her out of the grounds.
Well, that'd be right.
Well, except that is, if we had someone with us, you know, someone responsible that they could trust. Well, like you, Mrs. Morris.
I see. And when exactly do you want me to be chaperone?
You mean you'll do it?
Depends on when it is.
Well, the next visiting day is Saturday.
Oh, dear. I was going out with Bob, but...
Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. It's...
Never mind. It'll be okay. You'll understand.
Oh, thanks, Mrs. Morris. Oh, that's wonderful. Thanks ever so much.
See you Saturday. Oh, dear. What have I done?
Well, aren't you the clever one, eh? To think of that.
Bring Smith in.
Come in, Bee.
Well, Smith, Mr. Andrews has just been telling me about his plans. Do you like the idea?
Yes, I do, Mrs. Davidson.
Yes, so do I. I think it's excellent. It should set a good example to the other prisoners, too.
That's what we thought.
Mrs. Davidson's agreed that you should have a place set apart where you can work undisturbed.
Thanks, Mrs. Davidson.
Well, that should do us. There are about 8 different ones there.
Can I have a look?
Oh, you better have a look. You have to choose one to send off to you, Mr. Hope.
Oh, I don't know. Why don't you pick one?
Now, don't be silly. I think they're very good. They're very like you.
Yeah, but that's the trouble. See, I might pick one that he thinks is really awful, and that could ruin my future. I mean, you never know, do you? This could lead to, well...
Maureen, you don't even know the man.
Yeah, well, doesn't that make it all the more exciting? I mean, isn't it romantic? Imagine what it's going to be like when we meet in the flesh for the first time. Just like real intimate strangers.
For heaven's sake, take them inside, pick one out and post it off.
And they reckon the camera doesn't lie.
Well, just make sure you don't. Promise?
Yeah, OK, Mrs. M. Thanks very much.
Adams, Shepherd, Amar, and Burns.
Oh, bugger it. I thought I'd get one from Josie.
Well, you can't get one every day, you know.
Well, why not? Dor does, well, almost every day.
Is that from your Mr. Peter Hope?
Yeah.
Did you get the photo?
How do I know? I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, well, you sent it only a couple of days ago. You should have it by now for sure. He'll have it.
Jude.
Just let me read it, OK?
Sorry.
Mr. Fletcher? Do you reckon I'd be able to make a phone call? I haven't used my allowance for weeks and, well, I'd like to make it now.
All right, Burns, come on.
Who's she ringing?
No idea.
Hi. How are you feeling? Haven't done the dishes yet.
No, I haven't done the bloody dishes. Do the dishes yourself. I'm not your bloody lackey, am I?
No one said you were, but you are going to be me wife.
So, I'm gonna be your wife. Does that mean I have to spend all my time cleaning up after you?
You'd rather stare out of the window all day?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
And I don't need you behaving like a bloody martyr either.
Chrissy, I know you've only just got out, and I know you've got to get yourself together. We both do. But you are making it damned hard, and I am just about at the end of my tether.
Great. Why don't you go and strangle yourself with it?
You don't care about me at all, do you?
No.
All that carry-on the other day was all show, wasn't it? You're being nice to me because I came up with an idea that might let you have Elizabeth here for a day.
Yeah, that's right. Elizabeth is all I care about, see? I don't care about you. I don't even care about your bloody thing. Or your bloody ironing. None of it. Just Elizabeth, see? And if I have to marry you and it means me getting her back, I will.
And if I refuse to marry you, that might upset your scheme a bit.
Yeah, but you won't, will you? Because you want her back just as much as I do. So we're stuck with it, Mick. We've got to get married, see? Now you know where you stand, don't you?
Yeah, well, thanks for putting me in the picture.
Don't mention it.
I'll tell you one thing, though. Sure, I want Elizabeth back as much as you do, but I also happen to love you very much. So that gives me two good reasons not to give up. So I'll wait, Chrissy, no matter how long it takes. Because one day you're going to wake up from this daydream you're living in, and then who knows? Maybe you'll find out that you love me too.
Yeah, well, don't hold your breath, will you?
Oh, no, I'm not interested in sport or anything like that. Work?
Who's she phoning?
Didn't I tell you?
I've no idea. One minute she receives a letter, next minute she's making some mysterious phone call.
Well, she's entitled.
That's right.
I know
What do
she's
you do?
entitled, but I still think this non-censoring of mail and phone calls to persons unknown is a bit dangerous.
Oh, I wouldn't get worried unnecessarily, Jim. They're not going to abuse these privileges in case they lose them.
Really? I wish I had your confidence.
Yeah, but... Yeah, I know where the lake is. Yes, I could meet you there. OK. Oh, I've got to go now. I'm ready to go back now, Mr. Fletcher.
Are you indeed?
Look, Doreen, I'm sorry. I couldn't help hearing. Did I just hear you arranged to meet someone on the outside?
Oh, yeah, but I was only joking.
Well, I hope the person you arranged to meet enjoys the joke. Who was it?
Peter.
Who?
Peter Hope.
Oh, for heaven's sake, Doreen, what are you thinking of? You know perfectly well.
Just a minute. Who's this Peter Hope character?
Well, you'd better tell him.
Well, he's this fella I've been writing to, Mr. Fletcher, and I got his address from a Lonely Hearts Club.
I see. And I suppose you told him you're a prisoner at Wentworth?
No.
No, I bet you didn't. So they won't abuse a privilege, eh?
Well, I haven't done anything wrong. There's nothing wrong in having a pen friend, is there?
Well, we'll see if Mrs. Davidson agrees with you. Come
Just
on.
a minute, Mr. Fletcher. Perhaps if I ring this Peter Hope and explain...
No, I think you'd better see Mrs. Davidson too, Mrs. Morris.
I can't believe this. And you, Mrs. Morris, how could you go along with it to the extent of taking photographs to send to this Peter Hope?
I had no idea there was any deception. I went along with what I thought was a simple exchange of letters.
Yeah, that's right, Mrs. Davidson.
No, it is not right, Doreen. None of it is right. All these lies you so blithely admit to. And what about this poor fellow who's going to keep the appointment to meet you in the park tomorrow? Will he think it's all right?
No, Mrs. Davidson.
No, of course he won't. Well, have you any suggestion as to how you're going to explain it all to him?
Yeah. Maybe I could write to him again.
And say what?
That I'm real sorry that I missed our appointment because I was held up at work or something.
More lies. You haven't understood a word I have said. No, Doreen, I am going to make sure that you face up to your responsibilities this time. You and I are going to keep that 2 o'clock appointment tomorrow. And you are going to tell Mr. Hope everything. Do you understand?